meeting for intonation practice on April 10th. And we have a lot of connections. We started with, I couldn't get to her because I was hemmed in by the crowds. I didn't rewrite this because there's not a lot of changes, but the word could doesn't need to have a D or a T, like couldn't. So couldn't, it's a syllabic in. I couldn't get to her. If I round my lips, there will be an invisible W from going from to her, getting rid of the H, to her. If I don't round my lips, it will sound like to her, to her. I couldn't get to her. So you don't have to round your lips. If you do, it will have a W. Couldn't get to her. Because I will connect, hemmed in will connect by the crowds. I couldn't get to her because I was hemmed in by the crowds. And there isn't another isn't instead of isn't. Don't say the T. Isn't enough room to swing a cat in this house. Isn't enough. Instead of saying enough, I'm going to change it to enough. So now it sounds like this. Isn't enough. There isn't enough. There isn't enough room to swing a cat in this house. Cadin. The T will change to a D. This is an idiom, but maybe I've heard it a long time ago or once, but people don't usually say this. It really does mean to swing a cat. So don't try it. Um, we were packed in like sardines on the bus. In. Packed in like sardines on. That will connect with a Z. We were packed in like sardines on the bus. We were packed in like sardines on the bus. She announced that. So you're going from a high position for the E sound and then sliding down for an She. And announced, when you say that word by itself, the ED sounds like a T. Announced that, but we're not going to make a perfect announced. So announce that. Go ahead and think of it as announce, and you're ending with an S as you get the airflow going. Announce that. So I'm in the D position or the T position, it's the same, and I'm getting my airflow started before I even start the TH, and that's where the S comes from. So your tongue can be further, not in the perfect S position, whether you make your S up or you make your S down, but it can be between the teeth, right behind where the teeth meet, and then it's ready to come out or just be loose enough for air to go over it for the TH. She announced that. She announced that. She announced that. And in context, you would know it was definitely past tense. Yesterday in class, she announced that she would be moving. Announce that. It is a weird combination, um, and I have some examples. This is really called regressive assimilation because what is coming um, next is influencing what comes before it. So you're going backwards. So the TH sound, when it is preceded by an alveolar sound, t, d, s, z, n, is going to affect the position of those alveolars by moving them a little further forward to get ready for the TH. So you don't have to make a perfect T, as in a voiceless get three, get three, get three. I'm going t, th. I can say get three. My tongue is starting for my T, get three. For a voiced one, same thing. Let them instead of let them. Let them. Hold it almost like you're going to make the TH, but you can block the airflow with your tongue in the TH position. It's this happens accidentally when it's not supposed to, when people's THs sound like Ds, like them sounding like dem. But in this case, you are putting it in that same position, keeping the airflow so it doesn't block it and make a D. Let them. Um, what were we doing? Announce that. This might be an S or a T sound, same thing. This thing. This thing. Keep pushing your air. Less than, and put your tongue further forward to make it easier to get to that position. Brushed her teeth. In this case, brushed by itself would sound like a T, brushed. And we can get rid of the H in her and now connect it, and it sounds like brushed her. Brushed her teeth. Brushed her teeth. On that. On, my tongue should be behind my teeth, but instead I'm keeping it closer to the TH position so that it's ready for the that. On that. On that note, 3/4 of them. This has a lot of them. 3/4. I know I'm getting too much airflow. 3/4 of. Fourths of. 3/4 of. Keep the airflow going and don't worry about being in the perfect position and it will sound fine. 3/4 of them. And this would be the same thing. With rounded lips, it will sound like an invisible W. Tour. To earn a paycheck. To earn a. If I don't round my lips, it will sound like this. To earn a. Turn a. Almost like turn. To earn a. To earn a. To earn a paycheck. Either way is totally fine. The W makes it a little more correct. To earn. Run of the mill. Run of the mill. Runna. The note here I have made is that the of, which is really a UV sound, can change to just the without the V when it is before a consonant. So in this case, before the THs. If it was before a vowel, you keep the V, United States of America. I know my buttons are making noise. Team assessment. Team assessment. And I have that little mark there to remind you to hold the tongue in the T position and not release it. Team assessment. Early traction. Traction, the C is really a K, so you do put your tongue in the K position, track, but you don't release the K noise. Traction. Early traction. Produce the result. Produce the result for new business. Produce makes it an Produce the result. And instead of saying for perfectly, you can make it a little lazier and say fur. And people don't even notice. Produce the result for new business. Produce the result for new business. Make an impact on people. Making instead of a perfect an, it makes it shorter, just an un or an in, making. Make an impact on people. The T changes to a D on impact because it's between, it's getting ready for the vowel to come on. Make an impact on people. Groundbreaking. Forget about the D. The N and the D are made in the same position, so you don't need to release the D and have a ground. Just hold it in the in position. Groundbreaking, and go to the breaking. This is here just as an example of a T result of. The T connecting to the O before a vowel, A-E-I-O-U, and it will sound like a D because it's between two voiced sounds. That's there. So this was really good examples of, if you're curious about how and why this is happening, it's called regressive assimilation. In this case, the THs th, are affecting the alveolar sounds that come before them and pushing them a little further forward than they would be made if they were all on their own. And the important thing is, especially before THs, is to keep the airflow going so it doesn't stop. That's it. Thank you. Thank you for your suggestions. Some of these came from YouTube comments, so thank you for watching, and I am glad you find it helpful. Thanks.